follows is an unbiased examination of the platform. Do not take this as a recommendation to use BancDeBinary. So what is BancDeBinary? BancDeBinary is neither a bank nor an investment company, but it's quite big in the binary options world. This is more like betting business than trading. It was founded at the beginning of 2009 by a certain Oren Laurent, alias Oren Shabat Cohen. BancDeBinary is regulated in Europe by the Cyprus Securities and Exchange Commission. This allows it to offer its products and services throughout the European Union under a so-called passporting rules. For clients outside the EU, there's basically no regulation. You'll be dealing with an offshore company. Binary options is basically trading stripped down to its simplest form, and it is gaining popularity in recent years due to its simplicity. You only have to guess if the price of an asset will rise or fall after a short period of time, usually between 30 seconds to minutes. There can only be two outcomes. Either you are right or you're wrong, hence the name binary options. So this is how it works. Let's say you think the price of the gold market, or in this case the euro US dollar, or whatever it is that we're looking to trade, will fall after 60 seconds, and a bet of $50 on a 1-minute contract. When the time is up and the price is indeed lower, I win a certain percentage of what I bet, usually between 60 to 80%, between say $30 and $40. But if I'm wrong, I lose the entire $50 that I bet initially. In practice, trading binary options is not that different from gambling. There's no way to predict the market movement in such a short period of time. Each trade you make is just like trying to guess the outcome of a coin toss. Your chance of winning is not better than 50%. Even if you manage a 50% win rate, you'll still lose money due to the uneven winning versus losing payout of binary options. Did you realize that you're risking $50 to potentially win $30 to $40? This system is working against you, and this is why the vast majority of binary options traders lose money. So here are some of the other key details regarding BancDeBinary. The platform is the spot option trading platform. There's no need to download any software, and everything can be accessed online, a fact which is characteristic of the spot option trading platform. Markets, well, they offer binary options in over 180 tradable assets. So here's a list of those. We have most commonly traded, so obviously the most frequently traded by everyone, and of course we have currencies, commodities, gold versus euro, and so on, silver, and then the indices, key indices, and a range of stocks. The usual hugely popular stocks that we can see there. The only way to get a demo account is if you actually deposit money, which is kind of backwards really. You would want to try the demo account to see if it was for you before you actually deposited money. And this practice I find highly questionable. The minimum deposit is $250, pounds or euros. Yes, you have to deposit money to have an account with BancDeBinary. The minimum trade is £1. There's no signal service. You can get a bonus, And you know what we say about bonuses, we don't like them because they usually lock you into some form of trading volume before you can receive that bonus or even withdraw money. And their bonus is up to 100%. They also offer a mobile app for both Android and Apple iOS. Now, BancDeBinary offer a number of binary option types, as we can see here. We have binary options, which is basically the standard platform offers, which is basically trading at its most simplest. All you have to do is decide whether the asset value will go up or down, call or put, in the time frame of your choice. It really is that simple. So in this instance, we're using the euro US dollar, and without too much analysis, we'll click, say, the candles, get some candles up, and then we'll say it'll go up it'll be up at 20 past 4 from where it is now. So it'll be higher than its current position. And we approve, position approved. We've traded £1, and our payout would be £1.81 if we get it right. So that's binary options. We have 60 seconds, which is more of a coin toss than anything else. This is basically binary options trading at its shortest time frame you'll find anywhere online. Good for when there's a breaking market news and a strong reaction, and in some respects, you know, it's pretty exciting. Probably the most exciting way to pass a minute or two. So let's say we'll look at some stocks. Say Apple. We're going to say it's going to go above current amount in 60 seconds, and we're going to approve that. So as you can see, some of the payout percentage on the trade that we make is pretty small. You know, we only get 65% of what we essentially, I say traded, we are betting essentially. From there we have long term. Now long term we can have in terms of sort of a couple of days to a week or much more. They basically follow the same principle as standard binary options, but the expiry periods are much longer. Expiry times can be anything from a week or two up to an incredible 9 to 12 months, and these options favor traders who want to give their trades time for the fundamentals to have an effect, basically. And then we have pairs. Pairs are essentially one asset against another, generally corporate stocks, but on occasion commodities or indices. And it's basically which will perform the best. The pairs of assets will normally be related, for example, Google versus Amazon, or Amazon versus eBay, as we have here, or Facebook versus Twitter, as an example. You can also trade two indices against the other, or a currency against a commodity. Now, BancDeBinary offers a fast and simple method of trading options. The trading area follows a familiar, clear layout with all the relevant information easily found. You can select the type of option available from the top of the trading platform. So we have, you know, binary options, pairs, long term, 60 seconds. Below that are the markets that you trade, the assets, most commonly traded, currencies, commodities, indices, stocks. So if we look at those briefly. So these are the most frequently traded by traders, and I use that term loosely. Currencies, currency pairs, and so on. indices. Not all the indices are available, but it's the most common ones. And stocks, again, it's basically those that are the most well known and common, that have high volume. High volume means that it's likely to move a lot faster than other stocks that may be available. At the right of the asset classes are some options to change the number of windows that we have open. So we can say, for instance, we can have it as a list like this with some chart information, or we can break it down to make it even smaller so we have more, so we don't get charts and we just have the trading buttons. We can go further still and have even more. It's, in fact, we're having more to see but less information on each one. And then finally we can open up just one and we get a trading window. Below the options and assets comes the detail. So the specific asset to be traded, in this case Apple, the expiry time, and the trade amount. So here's the amount, and there's the expiries that we can select. All are amendable by a simple drop-down menu, so we can change these. And it refreshes, and we can make that a much larger trade if we wanted to, and it gives us an updated outcome here. Under the trade information bar is the main price graph, and this can be changed to cover varying time frames from minutes to 5 minutes, 15 minutes, and so on, all the way up to hours, 4 hours, daily, weekly, and monthly. On the right of the graph is the key information. So we have the current price, and we also have the payout and the expiry countdown. So if we get that to reflect something a bit clearer. So there's the time remaining to place that trade, either a call or a put. As the main information is displayed pretty clearly and quite intuitively, we can see that it's really easy to make a trade, and the information is there for us to make a decision relatively quickly. And finally, there is a trader's choice bar, which is this thing at the bottom, which reflects the sentiment among other traders at that moment. So current sentiment is saying that the majority of traders at this position are making call trades, expecting it to go up, and that's outweighing those that are expecting Apple at the moment to go down in value. So you can kind of gauge what other traders and what their feelings are regarding this. BancDeBinary offers differentiated accounts. In other words, the more you deposit, the more benefits you'll have. Now, all types of account guarantee you an access to over 200 trading assets, analysis of daily markets, and customer support. The bronze account requires a €250 deposit. The silver account has a higher value at €2,500 investment and gives you 10 days of direct line with an account manager, events analysis and 1 month of trading signals. Now we urge you to avoid accepting advice from their account managers at all costs. And then there's the golden one, which is €5,000 deposit. Inter alia provides more elite services like management plan and risk-free trade from an account executive. They also have 2 Lion Premier accounts, Platinum and Premier, for professionals in binary trading, and they have additional exclusive features as an extra 2 to 3% payouts, invitation only events for VIP traders, accelerated withdrawals, and so on. And exclusive accounts require €100,000 investing and available by invitation only. Now this provider also provides clients with a BancDeBinary demo, but alas, you can only request it when you open your account and make a minimum deposit of either $250, pounds, or euros. Essentially, the software which you have access to is just like a big slot machine, depending on what status of your financial situation is or how much you invest. Bet. It's fixed to hand out more cherries than bars until you have nothing left. Then they phone you and ask you to put more money into your account or offer you a bonus, not telling you that until you reach a certain amount, you have no chance of drawing your profits or winnings out. Don't take bonuses with BancDeBinary, or don't take bonuses ever really, or you'll be trapped with the trading requirements related to that bonus. So what is BancDeBinary? Well, they've taken a simple platform developed by someone else and are essentially a telemarketing operation. They call their clients on the phone and have aggressive sales practices. This is more like selling a cat in a bag, as it were, the old bait and switch. They tell us clients that consistently lose are less likely to continue to use BancDeBinary's services. True, if only because they have been cleaned out. Some of those providers are making a fool out of the financial regulators, just as much as it is making victims out of investors. My advice to anyone is please don't get talked into depositing more money than you can afford into those binary providers. In June 2013, the US Securities and Exchange Commission filed charges against BancDeBinary for soliciting and taking orders from US customers, sidestepping a US ban on off-exchange binary option contracts, to which BancDeBinary agreed to pay more than $10 million in restitution and penalties. The bad winds from the USA authorities are now past, but BancDeBinary is also fined repeatedly by the Cyprus Securities and Exchange Commission over possible violations around customer marketing and checks on client suitability. To see the extent that those companies go to build credibility, at one point BancDeBinary even had a high-profile but very expensive sponsorship of the Liverpool Football Club. However, after the legal troubles, it seemed that BancDeBinary's link to the club has been dropped. And don't bother with an account manager. If you're serious about trading online, do your own research. Account managers just want your money, whether you win or lose. If you win, BancDeBinary loses, so how can anyone rely on its employees for advice? So that is BancDeBinary. I'd really appreciate it if you found this video useful to click the like button. Thanks.